Men up roses. Hey!
Clear the decks, clear the tracks. We got nothing to do but relax. Blow a kiss, take a bow. Baby,
everything's coming up roses. Hey! Tommy Sands. Live at the Sands. Go figure, huh?
Set it spinning.
It's just the beginning. Hey, it's GMO Tuesday, 6:30 a.m. It's going to be swell. It's going to be swell. Hey, we got a lot of stuff going on today. A lot of stuff. You need non-GMO food? You don't want these. You don't want these. Look at our eggs. They're still white. Hey, we're going to monitor these. Like I said, I've had them sitting on a shelf for 6 months before I put them on the air last week. We're going to monitor these. That's the name right there. Take a look at it. Wilcox Organic. Wilcox Organic. They got a little label up there that says Oregon Tilth. Kind of looks like some kind of certification thing up there in the corner, doesn't it? That little doohickey right there. Oregon Tilth. That's what it says. Hey! You need non-GMO food? Organic feed for your critters? Foothill Feed and Mercantile. Foothill Feed and Mercantile in the Reno area, ladies and gentlemen. 1330 Geiger Grade. 775-852-0999. Give them a call. Give that girl a call up there, Shannon. She'll get you squared away. I think she might have a strawberry or two left up there. You never know. Give her a call. Find out. Can't have that pig growing a third eye. Goat growing an ear on his nose or nothing. Can't. That's what that food does. That's what that food does. They can't tell us it don't because they never tested for it. They don't know. They don't know. They're lying to us. They're lying to us. Even Gina McCarthy, the EPA lady, said, we've never had a test on Roundup Final Solution. In other words, they have no idea of the volatility of the concoction they made. I don't know. That's crazy to me. I was asked a question before we go any further. Hello, Monsanto. Guess whose profile has been invaded by Monsanto people? Mwah, that's a badge of honor, ladies and gentlemen. I got to be saying something right. They got to be getting worried if they're looking at me. Let's hope they don't think I'm Seth Rich, huh? I don't know. I'm telling you, this last week on my professional profiles over there on LinkedIn, all kinds of Monsanto traffic. I don't think I've had anything to do with the ruse unraveling that Monsanto has going on, ladies and gentlemen. I want everybody... Somebody asked me about Facebook. Why, you do good stuff. Why aren't you on Facebook? You get so much more traffic. Top 7 shareholders of Facebook are the top 7 shareholders of Monsanto. You really want to make a statement? Center for Food Safety, Food and Water Watch, Organic Consumers Association, Moms Across America, every other anti-genetically GMO organization out there. Do you really want to make a statement? Get every one of your members to get off of Facebook. Drop Facebook now. We know they censor. Speaking of censor, Twitter, Google, Reddit, YouTube, they're all coming under scrutiny about censorship. Most of it is, of course, due to racial, all that crap that the Democrats have started and everybody else has started that wants to waste time and a waste of space. There's some form of censorship on all social media platforms, ladies and gentlemen, because there's something called terms and conditions. They're rules, if you will. The rules of Twitter, the rules of YouTube, the rules of whatever. So there is always some form of censorship. I mean, be real. You can't yell fire in a crowded theater. That is a form of censorship. You can't yell fire in a crowded theater because it creates a safety hazard for the people. You can yell fire if there's a fire, but you just can't yell fire. So even though we have a First Amendment of freedom of speech, there is some form of censorship going on all the time because there are right things to say and there really are wrong things to say. You don't go calling people effing whatevers, whether they be Islamic or whatever their religion is. Let me take the Islamic back. I don't want to get specific, but you just can't go calling people effing whatevers because of their religion. It's not polite. You can say what you want. It's not polite. So, but that's the issue with me and Facebook, ladies and gentlemen. Me and Facebook, I have a problem with Monsanto. I got a problem with Facebook. Same people own the thing. So go figure that one out. Hey, Kevin, Epic Gardening Kevin. He's up in Alaska. He's eating blueberries. He's picking the blueberries with the brown bears. He's eating, well, I don't know if he's picking them with the bears, but he's out there up in Alaska. But his blog, Epic Gardening, go check it out. Got some aquaponic stuff. He's, that's becoming a big thing. And speaking of, I'm kind of negotiating right now with operation out here on the West Coast. I've never done aquaponics, so that's a new learning. I got a learning curve here. Take a look at it, see what it does. I know they can't do organic certification because of the process. It's not a sustainable, you have to keep doing it, but it isn't chemicals. So, the Baum Hedlund law firm, in a tort action, once again have discovered, they've uncovered more quote-unquote secret documents from Monsanto. How the ruse is falling apart. Let's be real here. We're going to save money. We're going to save time. What else was it? It's going to produce more food. We're going to feed all the hungry children. Remember that noble cause, feeding the hungry children. Yeah, they're not doing that. They're not doing that. Oh, yeah, and let's not forget, ladies and gentlemen, let's not forget, we're going to use less of this. My number one selling product, we're going to use less. They're using more. Every day they're using more. And now they're using stronger chemicals. Dicamba, Debacle, all over the place. Dicamba, Debacle. EPA up to their butthole in collusion and conspiracy and all kinds of improper activity. The EPA, if we ever had a useless agency, you can put them right there with the USDA and the FDA. They're not protecting anything. They're not protecting anything. Why are our taxes paying for this? Why are we, the good American people, paying all our... I think we all need to stop paying taxes. Everybody in the United States, this would kill everything right now. If everybody working in the United States went in and changed their W-4 from whatever your exemption is now to 20, they take no taxes out. All they're going to take is your Social Security. They take no taxes out. Think about that for a minute. They take no taxes out. What would happen after 2 months of the government not getting tax money? Maybe they'll listen to us and say, hey, okay, we're sorry. Go ahead and pay your taxes. I don't know. Just spitballing here. St. Louis Today also reporting that Monsanto prevented a key ingredient being tested. A key ingredient being tested. It goes unchallenged. They've set this stuff up. And I'm gonna go back again. If you're in the legal profession, I can use some help. I'm having a very difficult time finding this, but I know right now, that we can prove and we can show that Monsanto started laying stuff out for what they're doing today 100 years ago in 1917 when John Quincy asked the United States government, sue us for saccharin under the Food Safety Act. That's what John Quincy said. Now, here was the problem the government ran into, and let's make no mistake about it, John Quincy knew exactly what he was doing when he did this, because this allowed all the inroads. It allowed everything to go on, and the person that should have been sued, the person the government should have been suing, was Coca-Cola. Coca-Cola put the product in the food and put it out in the food supply. Monsanto did not. Therefore, what Monsanto learned was how to manipulate everything, how to tell stories, how to lie, how to spread disinformation, how to play the propaganda game, how to be Goebbels' #1 pupil. That's what they did. I'm telling you. They started before Goebbels got involved. They started before all the propaganda, 1917. It ran until 1928. If you're in the legal profession, ladies and gentlemen, please contact me. I want to find the decisions on this case. I'm telling you right now, if we can start finding 11 years worth of court decisions from 1917 to 1928, we are going to find the blueprint for what is going on today. We will find it. It's in there. I'm telling you right now, it's in those legal briefs and decisions. And that is how we have to undo it. We have to go back and find out how it happened so it can get undone. It's in those court records. I keep running into dead ends. I can find token mentions of them everywhere. The case is there. I just can't find it. And if you're in the law profession, you care about your food, help me out here, would you please? I got a problem saying what's going on. I ain't got a problem saying what's going on. Hey, whom do your elected officials represent, ladies and gentlemen? Whom do your elected officials represent? That's what this all comes down to. That's what it all boils down to. Whom do your elected officials represent? I want you guys to remember something. Think about this for just a minute. You got to think about this. If they're not testing this stuff, they got this stuff bulldozed through, man. It's not substantially equivalent. We know it now. It's not substantially equivalent. The National Academy of Sciences. The National Academy of Sciences. Now, I want you to, here's irony. This is how bad it is. This is how bad Monsanto has become. They put the National Academy of Sciences in play as an independent agency to look, oh, hey, the National Academy of Sciences says we're okay. It was their organization. It was them that put this together. It was Monsanto that fed the information to the National Academy of Sciences for their interpretation. Think about that for a minute. Think about that for a minute. I want you to do a psychological profile on me based on the information I give you. I want you to do an analysis on this product based on the information I give you. Never mind that it blows up when you shake it. That's information isn't in the report that you get to analyze. That you're going to do the analysis on. It's not in there. That information's not in there, so they leave information out, or they put misleading information in. National Academy of Sciences reviews the study, says, hey, they're okay. They're okay. Are they? That's what's going on. Now, in a strange little ironic twist, if you will, is the National Association of Sciences starting to turn on their developer. I think they are. I don't think they can stand by passively anymore and say, okay, this is science, because it's not. Somebody asked me a question the other day about somebody commentating in one of my threads. They said, does that guy work for Monsanto? I said, no, but he's been educated by Monsanto. And that's what we have right now. We have an entire generation of new 20-something scientists. Their eyes are this big, going out in the world because they're going to feed all the hungry children. That's what they've been taught. That's what they've been taught. That GMOs are the solution to our agriculture problems. The solution to our agriculture problems? Quit being lazy. We don't need to grow the world corn supply in Kansas. That's the agriculture problems. The agriculture problems are because they've created agriculture scenarios that are unmanageable. Sustainable agriculture is a manageable program that you institute in something. You work on it every day. You have stuff to do. You don't go spray poison and let everything else die, but the stuff you're poison free or whatever it is. I mean, they make it resistant to the poison. When are they going to start doing this with people? And we see these science fiction movies, and we see them starting to come true every day. I want you to think about something for a minute. Control the food supply. You have a distribution center called Walmart worldwide. You hear all these rumors. And they got empty Walmart stores everywhere, and you're hearing rumors that it's a FEMA camp. Huh? There was a lot of scuttlebutt that the Hillary Monsanto camp would have instituted martial law, which I don't doubt it. I don't doubt it. Hey! Again, when we start talking the GMO issues, ladies and gentlemen, we start talking all this, this boils down to whom do your elected officials represent? Who do they represent, ladies and gentlemen? You, Monsanto, Coca-Cola, Kellogg's, General Mills, Kraft. Hi, I'm Debbie, and I took $15,000 from Monsanto to stab my constituents in the back. Stabenow. Debbie Stabenow. $15,000, we get a QR code that takes you to a propaganda website. It does not tell you what's in the food. That's not food labeling. That's not food labeling. It's called graft, and it's illegal. Why aren't they being... Why? Center for Food Safety. You're a lawyer. Why aren't you suing Debbie Stabenow? Think about it. That's graft. Monsanto would never speak to her if she wasn't a senator and she couldn't do something for them. Period. Definition of graft. It's the simplest definition of graft. So what happens? What happens? What happens to the food that's being grown that none of these countries want? They don't want to grow it. They don't want to grow it. I'll tell you where you won't find the answer. MDG Blogger. No, she's got healthy food on her thing. She doesn't have junk food on her stuff. MDGblogger.com, ladies and gentlemen. Get over there. Organics. MDG Blogger. At MDG Blogger on the Twitter. Excuse me. Organic4greenlivings.com. She got some good stuff. You know who else? That cutie pie Paula Mayer over there in Cincinnati, Ohio. Yep, they got good stuff. They got good stuff. You won't find Debbie Stabenow asking for money, taking money from... Isn't that a hoot? They take money from Monsanto and then they ask you for money to help get them elected. What's really going on, ladies and gentlemen? Think about that for just a minute. Think about that for just a minute. How many emails a day do you get... With all the fear-mongering, with all the Chicken Littles, the sky's falling. Oh, my God, they're raising more money than us. The Dianne Feinstein, Nancy Pelosi emails are just starting to kill me. It's just starting to kill me. Whom do your elected officials represent, ladies and gentlemen? Is Trump, is Mr. Trump all this food that nobody wants? Is he trying to force it? Rumor has it he's trying to force it on the EU, China, and all these places that don't want GMO food. And he's saying it should be accepted on scientific grounds. Well, if that's the case, they shouldn't take the food. Yeah, well, it's already coming out now that the science is bogus, the science is a lie, that the science is not substantially equivalent. The science shows the food is not substantially equivalent. If it's not substantially equivalent, substantially equivalent is a bogus claim. It has been for quite some time. Remember, ladies and gentlemen, the substantially equivalent argument in 1992 from Michael Taylor wrote in on the heels of Mr. D-Reg George H.W. Bush. Yeah, we're in the D-Reg business. You ought to call me. That's what he said. That's what he told the mucky mucks over there at the Monsanto when they put the dog and pony show on. Had to mix the stuff up in oh, what am I going to do? Make a stronger plant? No, you're going to make a plant that uses 1 billion pounds of poison. That's what they didn't tell him. They just told him, oh, yeah, you're going to make a big plant there, Mr. Vice President. Yeah. Hey! Who's the ruse on now? Us. We're the experiment. That's basically what is going on here. The United States, in the agriculture industry, has become a lab project. A lab project. Speaking of organic, I want everything you see organic. You see the wrapper on this? This wrapper will take 25 years to decompose. Why don't they put bread in a paper bag anymore? Why's it got to be in plastic so it sweats and doesn't breathe? And doesn't biodegradable? I have a bone to pick with the organic industry on that thing right there. If you're going to say it's organic, let's package it in something that rots next week, not next 20 years. It don't make sense to me. Only makes sense to me, the Dicamba debacle. We're going to use less of this because we're making the food to do that. Never mind that it's poison in the food. It's in the food. BT corn, ladies and gentlemen, BT corn is listed as an insecticide, but they make Fritos with it. Huh? I don't know. I don't know if everybody truly understands the power of consumer power. Do you all need your Fritos for a month? Do you need potato chips? Think about it, ladies and gentlemen. Just think about some of these consumer power things. We're not going to use GMO potatoes. Oh, by the way, that's because we're poisoning you with BT toxin corn. We're poisoning you with Roundup Ready products. Soy, corn. They're spraying the wheat with the crap. They keep saying, oh, no, we're not. But yet, I don't understand how, if they're not spraying the wheat with glyphosate, how is it in the bread? How is glyphosate in the wheat, on the wheat, if they're not spraying it? They're bold-faced lying to us. Everybody's lying to us on our food supply. Everybody's lying to us. Remember, 1917, man. If you're a lawyer, if you're in the thing, help me out on that, would you please? Oh my goodness, what is this? Or industrial organic. Oh, industrial agriculture. That's here's the thing about substantially equivalent and growing food. Okay? What goes in the dirt goes on the table. It will end up on your table eventually. I don't care if you put crap in the dirt in Wyoming. There's a river that's going to run into the Mississippi from somewhere in that area. It's going to drain because that's the way it goes. That's the way it is. Okay, so we have that poison running into the Mississippi. So now it affects a fish in the Mississippi River. Then it goes downstream and it affects the crawdads. Then it goes downstream a little further and creates an algae bloom and kills the shrimp that float in the water because they can't breathe. You eat it. You get it back in your food. It's unbelievable that when I get in discussion threads and I'm debating these, I'm debating these pro-GMOers, none of them uses common sense. They use talking points. And I want you to think about that for a minute. It's just like when these people get on these news shows, they give these bullet point talking points and they don't say anything. They make themselves look like an idiot because they give talking points instead of discussion. That's what these people do in these threads. They come attack you with talking points, and they'll get 4 or 5 people attacking one statement and telling somebody how, typical Alinsky style, telling you how stupid you are, how wrong you are, how you don't know anything, and how you should be grateful that the moron on the other side of the table is telling you what to think. Whom do your elected officials represent? That's all I can say. Case over in California right now. Case in California. Very, very disturbing. The EPA is attacking this guy, Duarte, his farm. He tilled his farm. He's a wheat farmer. He does some trees, does some grapevine production. But he tilled is saying, the feeling is that the EPA is trying to bankrupt farmers to take the land to make wetlands for them. And I want you to think about this for a minute when I say control the food supply. EPA is in bed with Monsanto. If they can get rid of legitimate farmers, real farmers, they control the food supply. They control everything. They have everything. Something came across my desk, reminded me of Community Roots over in Dayton. Community Roots in Dayton, Nevada, folks. They got a great, great little gardening program going on with the schools, education programs. Urban schools gardening cleans things up. It cleans up neighborhoods. It's a form of education for youngsters. And it's a constructive, busy time for kids. It teaches them to work together. It teaches a whole lot of things. It teaches a whole lot of things. Look into some of that. Biodegradable neutral product, non-toxic to people. It's what the heck was it? It's made out of vinegar and something else. Weed Clean. Weed Clean is what it is. It's an organic. Look it up. WEEDKLEAN. Weed Clean. Look it up. Do you have a small area? You want to get something going in it? You want some? Maybe you live on in an apartment with a little patio or something. Limited space solutions. Vertical farming, vertical gardening. Give me a call. We can talk about that. I help out a lot of people doing that kind of stuff. So, again, whom do your elected officials represent? And in closing, I want to talk just a little bit today about the testing process. We keep hearing testing, and we test. They do, but again, they dictate the terms. There's a testing contract. If you're going to test something for Monsanto, you have to sign a contract and agree to test certain things. For example, with Dicamba, with Roundup, the final solution, there's not a volatility test because it's never been done. Nobody knows what happens except for the people in Alabama, Arkansas, Mississippi, Tennessee, Missouri. They know what happens with drift. Just ask them. The organic farmers, their crops are dying because the chemical farmers drift. Years ago, we had a thing on that in the property preservation industry. I called field assets up, and I said, hey, you're getting ready to open a can of worms you don't want opened. I said, you're telling people to go be doing poisons. A lot of places that needs to have a permit for. I said, I get certified every year to do poisons. I said, I said, you guys don't know about drift, about leaching, or anything here. And I said, what you're doing, you're going to create a problem. And here's what happens. Here's what happens, ladies and gentlemen. You'll spray something late summer because it's full of weeds. Bank wants it to look nice. So you'll spray something, come back a week later, clean all the dead stuff up. And then, come springtime, when it starts raining, when the winter waters start melting, the neighbor's lawn starts dying. The dog gets sick. Nobody knows why. Everything ran into his yard. That's why. You were there 6 months ago, 7 months ago. Everything ran into the yard. That's why. That stuff doesn't dissipate. It just keeps going where it wants to go. So what Monsanto does, and the chemical companies, when you go to test a new product, they put restrictions on the testing. How is that testing? That's not testing. That's not testing. They're telling you what to do so the report and the information comes out beneficial to them so they can sell the product to you. What kind of madness is that? Monsanto and your agrochemical companies, they all claim because it is proprietary information. I'm sorry, ladies and gentlemen. When you put that in front of your child to eat, whatever's in that bag becomes your business. It's not proprietary information anymore, ladies and gentlemen. It goes on your table. You're feeding your children. You're feeding you. Think about this for a minute, ladies and gentlemen. Just think about it. Think about what I'm saying here. What's in here is none of my business? Is that seriously? You want me to eat it, but what's in here isn't my business, but you want me to eat it. It is our business. That isn't proprietary information when you're putting it on my table. When you want to put something on my table, it becomes my business. It becomes your business when they want to put food on your table for your children to eat. For your children to eat. Shall we go down under? Shall we go down under? Where'd I put the hat? Where'd I put the hat? Here we go. Hang on just a minute here. Let's go down under. Talk to Sheena for a minute. Wellness radio. A wellness radio host. Bondi. Bondi. B-O-N-D-I. Bondi.com.au. You got it. You got it. She got a wellness show going on down there in Australia. They're non-GMO people. This is where Trump is wanting them to take the GMO food. They don't want the GMO food. Nobody in the world wants this GMO food. They don't even want to grow it in Brazil anymore. Nobody wants this food. What are we going to do with it all? Again, consumer power. If we don't want it, why? I mean, think about that, ladies and gentlemen. Just think about it. Just think about it. How do we bring this attention to the person most important in this country right now? We just talked about him, Donald Trump. Donald Trump. Join my Twitter campaign. See if we can get the people down in Australia. Get them a Twitter campaign. Donald Trump, Mr. President, don't send us your GMO food. We don't want it. Maybe New Zealand can do the same thing. Maybe the EU can do the same thing. Maybe we get people in China to start tweeting our president. We don't want your GMO food. Keep it. Let it rot. It's not going to rot. It doesn't rot. I mean, they made it so it doesn't do. I mean, yeah. 6 months. Doesn't rot. That's not organic. I'm sorry, that's not organic. Wilcox Organic. Is that false labeling because they're saying it's organic? I don't know, man. And I love how they always say gluten-free in an item that doesn't have gluten in it to begin with. Isn't that kind of misleading labeling? That's why we need a good labeling bill. That's why we need a good labeling bill. Hey, ladies and gentlemen, Twitter campaign. I'm asking you, I'm asking Moms Across America members, moms across the world. Remember, got them New Zealand gals, New Zealand moms in there. Sheena down in Australia, they're in the same part of the world, but they don't want the GMO. They don't want the GMO. Neither do we. Neither do we. So it's something to think about, but Moms Across America, Organic Consumers Association, you guys got members. Let me see, who else has members? Center for Food Safety, Food and Water Watch, GMO Watch, GM Watch, the GMO Project, the Non-GMO Project, and all these organizations. There has to be 50 million people involved in them. Think about it. There has to be massive amounts of people. You guys all have emailing lists. Get a campaign going. Get it out in public. Again, I'm going to bring this up in closing today. I have yet to see a politician or a legislature review or even read about one or listen to one say, we reviewed the petition, however. Do you ever hear that? No. You just get people like Debbie, let me take $15,000 from Monsanto and stab my constituents in the back, stabbing out, giving us bogus legislation, telling us it's good for us. It's the right thing to do. It's the right thing to do. It's not. Join my Twitter campaign. Join my Twitter campaign right there. Alladay at Alladay LLC on Twitter. Mr. President, Mrs. President, she's important. She's important. Mr. Pruitt, Mr. Purdy. Purdue, I'm sorry, not Purdy. Purdue. Purdy's coming up on Preservation Thursday. Mr. Purdue, get the poison out of our food. MDG Blogger does it every day with me. Hey, how do you say no to a pretty girl? She does it, so you got to do it too. Pretty girls do it. You got to do it. You got to do it. I had, I don't know how many. I lost track of how many people followed me this week on Twitter. They've all been introduced to the campaign. They've all retweeted. They've all started retweeting. And that's how it works. And this is why I say put this in the social media platform. Get this out there because you start tripping algorithms. You start tripping the systems that say what's going on or you know, that make people aware. And you start that's how they get trending on Twitter or trending on Google or trending today. That's how that happens. But if you put it out there in the social media platform, if you put it out there where these politicians and everybody are communicating, and Twitter's a hotbed for political activity, it really is. What happens is attorneys like John F. Kennedy Jr. that are become a huge voice of reason in this GMO mess. Now he has verifiable numbers. We start providing numbers that cannot be disputed because the algorithms have been tripped, and now it becomes fact. Now it becomes evidence in court. Now, when somebody wants to go after Debbie Stabenow for not representing them properly, and for selling them out, for graft, there's the evidence right there. 90%. If it's 90%, I want you guys to think about this for just a minute. Even if only 50% of the 90% of the people are on Twitter, even if only 30%, that's still over 100 million people. I want you to think about that for a minute. 100 million people a day asking the president, please get the poison out of our food. You don't think that's going to create some kind of awareness? You don't think that's going to create some kind of news broadcast? I bet even fake news CNN picks it up. Think about it, ladies and gentlemen. That's all I'm saying. Think about it. Once again, I got a badge of honor out there I got a badge of honor. Monsanto is snooping around my profiles. You know I ain't going to work for them. Unless, of course, it's to get rid of all the poison. I just never thought poison and chemicals were any way to grow food. I don't know. I don't know. Hey, if you like what you hear, give us a thumbs up. Please join the Twitter campaign. It's real simple. Just find me on Twitter, Alladay LLC, at Alladay LLC, ladies and gentlemen. I'll introduce you to the president, and we'll Twitter campaign him. We'll Twitter him. Please get the poison out of our food. We don't need it in our food. I know you don't want it in your food. I don't want. Do you want poison? I have yet to ask somebody if they want poison in their food. Everybody says no. So that's 100%. Funny how that works. Funny how that works. Like what you hear, give us a thumbs up. To all the pretty gals out there, Sheena down in Australia. MDG blogger, Paula Mayer, hey. I'm telling you right now, you look at those girls, and then you go look at Hillary Monsanto. You look at Angela Merkel, that's all in bed with these chemical companies. Well, I make you not want to wake up in the morning. Make you not want to wake up in the morning. I'll tell you what, I wouldn't be rolling over and open my eyes. No, I'd be burying my head under the pillow. That's what they call a slip cover. You put it over your head, cover it up so you can't see nothing. That's what it's all about. That's what it's all about. If you like what you hear, give us a thumbs up. Hey, subscribe to the station. That's how it works, folks. That's what's going on. Even though this thing practices censorship, they haven't squeezed me. I guess I haven't pointed out enough truth about Monsanto yet to be censored. I don't know. But I do know they censor on Facebook because I specifically worked with people to post certain things that got pulled and were told that it violates some security policy. Yeah, the truth. The truth. Always remember what Mark Twain said. If you tell the truth, you don't have to remember anything. With that, ladies and gentlemen, let's have a great day. Let's all be safe out there.